Let's start with San Diego State. They're coming off a bye week. They have talked tremendous amount about Jaden Denigal growing as a quarterback. We need to see it on the field. We need to see it for 4 quarters of football. We need to see first downs. We need to see scoring drives. It's going to be hard. They're playing Cal. Golden Bears come in at 3-0. Tell you, one of the better coaches on the West Coast that nobody pays any attention to is Justin Wilcox. What a job he has done with the Cal Golden Bears. And for the first time since he's been there in a while, he's got himself a transfer quarterback who's really done very well. We're going to watch Denigal a great deal, obviously, on Saturday night. You need to watch Jaron Sagapolitelli. He graduated school early, went to Oregon as an early enrollee, went through winter term, spring ball, and just saw, I'm not going to be the guy because Dante Moore's in front of me. And he decided to opt out and go back to where he had originally committed, Cal. Starting quarterback, left-handed thrower, a little bit like Kellen Moore, very accurate, and occasionally get it down the field. Sagapolitelli is going to start here. He just engineered a landslide victory over Minnesota, the Big Ten. That was really impressive. The other thing that's unbelievably impressive, Justin Wilcox, of course, played in the NFL, defensive guy. Do you know in the last 2.5 years, they have 55 takeaways in 2.5 years at Cal on the defense, and Wilcox's defense. Yes. Wow. 28 one year, 22 last year, and 5 already this season in 3 weeks. Man, they bring it. And he's got 2 former head coaches on his staff. One is Brian Harsin, who was at Boise State, and the other was Nick Rolovich, who fixed everything that was wrong at Hawaii and went to Washington State, did well, and then COVID hit, and he got involved in the dispute with the administration. Anyhow, those are the right-hand guys to Wilcox. I think it's a really good coaching staff. The other angle to the Aztec story, I'll throw this at you. They are really trying hard to market this program. They spent the whole bye week giving away tickets, free, to everybody. Get this. They distributed 4,000 free tickets on campus. They're trying to get the people who go to school there to come see the games. And they've upgraded the amount of free tickets the students get. They've added 3,000 more to the 5,000 students already allocated. So they have put out 12,000 free tickets.
Hey.
Then they turned around and they offered every season ticket holder, all 6,600 of them, 2 more free tickets. So, I mean, they're paper in the house. And then they decided at the last minute, we're going to have a flash sale. We're going to take the $65 tickets, which I think is way too high, and we're going to sell them for $15. So they think they sold about 2,000 of those. They're going to try to get a walk-in crowd, create an aura, create some excitement. They're trying really hard, but they're playing Cal. Cal could come in there and run them into the parking lot. It's a real problem. So San Diego State is trying unbelievably hard to get fans to sample the product. The product right now could lose its 3rd game of the season against the Cal Golden Bears. And it goes back to the original thing you and I have talked about, the mishandling of Aztec football right from the get-go in the new stadium and the pricing.
Yeah.
And it's too little, too late. And if you're giving all the tickets away, you're pissing off all the people who invested the big money to come be one of your supporters. I don't know if there's an answer to the situation, aside from winning. Jaden Denigal has to put on a show this weekend and show that he can handle it for 4 quarters, not an odd drive here or there. I'm not bailing on the kid at all because that kid is the future. But that's where we are right now at San Diego State. USC. Trojans are unbeaten. East Lansing awaits. Michigan State is unbeaten. They're both 3-0. Of course, USC compiled their 3 wins against 1AA teams. They're number 1 in the 1AA poll. Mystical. Michigan State's beaten some good people along the way. Interesting matchup. Lincoln Riley trying to regain his credibility with college fans on the West Coast. Jonathan Smith, West Coast guy, rebuilt Oregon State. And the clueless guy took the Michigan State job. They're 3-0. He brought with him a transfer quarterback who had not played, Adam Childs from Oregon State. He is a starting quarterback and playing very well for the Spartans. Now, USC's got big play people everywhere. Jaden Mayava, the starting quarterback, has thrown 5 touchdown passes deep. I'm talking 50 and 60 and 70-yard passes. So they will go down the field. He's also got a really good JUCO running back Wayman Jacobs, who came from junior college ranks in Kansas. He's one of the leading rushers in the country. So that's a pretty good offense. Now, I caution you, they did that against the Missouri States of the world.
Yeah, cupcakes.
So they're playing the Spartans, which is real deal. So this will be a good test to see how really far along USC is on the comeback trail. And in terms of UCLA, after the disgrace, think about this. Bruins are 117th in the country on defense, 117th, and 121st on offense.
Like, how many teams are there? It's like only
133.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's awful. That's Deshaun Foster's legacy. Yesterday, they fired Deshaun Foster's defensive coordinator. He was asked to leave too. So UCLA's got a bye week this week. They will not play. So that'll be interesting there. Now, there are a couple other good games here. I'll just throw this at you. Big Ten. Illinois is 3-0. They play Indiana 3-0. Good game. Big 12. Utah 3-0. Texas Tech 3-0.
Okay.
So they got a couple of real good games in the Big Ten and the Big 12. So you want to talk about the Aztecs, the quarterbacks? You want to talk about Southern Cal and UCLA? John, do not throw an incomplete pass here with your comments.
There were some interesting comments that you made there. First of all, the Cal thing is weird because they've perpetually been a very down program of football. Yeah, they had a few moments here or there. They had the beast mode guy was playing there. What was his name?
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. That's right.
Jared Goff was there.
Yeah.
But Steve Bartkowski was a long time
that's
ago.
way back. Yeah. So there's been some players there, but generally speaking, they've been down. But the way you were describing the new head coach and having another head coach as an assistant, building that, it reminded me a little bit of how Brady Hoke came to the Aztecs and brought along Rocky Long, and he had like some other like offensive guru, if I remember correctly, when they first assembled that staff. So maybe bright days ahead, but the Aztecs, what they're doing, it just seems like it's the Steve Fisher model, right? Just go out on campus and toss the tickets around. I would think, there's going to be some season ticket holders going to be a little bit irked, because they paid big money and now they're giving them away. But I think most season ticket holders just want the program to be successful.
Yep.
They just want to see fans out there, the team winning. And if this is going to do it, to fill that stadium up and get a little bit of energy for these guys, then great, let's make it happen.
Well, at the end of the day, they've had an opening day crowd of 13,300 in the building. The last two home games at the end of last season, just a shade over 10,000 each of those two home games.
Mm-hmm.
I reiterate what I said before. They have lost the football community. How they get it back if they're not winning is going to be a challenge. At least they're trying.
But it seems you said a little too late.
Yep.
And then just as an aside, it's cool to see the Trojans play the Spartans. It's just a perfect matchup of mascot names, and it's going to be a great game. And this is the kind of Big Ten, kind of power games we wanted to see when USC and UCLA went, to play in the Midwest. So let's see how this one goes.
Yeah, it's a marquee game for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you're into college football. You're an Aztec fan, friend, Aztec for life. Feel free to join us in the conversation. We'll talk Southern Cal. Are there any UCLA fans out there? The greatest things on social media in the last week and a half involving UCLA football. I'll just repeat this if you've not heard it. There was one social media item. We regret to inform you, all your season ticket holders are entering the transfer portal. And the other one this week, after they fired Deshaun Foster, UCLA, congratulations. You are now in last place in the Big 12, the Big 10, and the Mountain West Conference because they lost all those games to all those people from those different conferences.
What a complete train wreck that is.
Yes.
It does. Westwood, fans, they deserve better than this.
We'll see where they go. Hey, we get to halftime.